Hello everyone, myself Nazia Hassan. I'm an assistant professor at TMIMT, Tirthankar Mahavir University, Muradabad. In today's session, we will discuss some aspects related to cost audit and material control. In the previous session, we discussed what is cost sheet and we discussed how we can make the cost sheet numerically with the help of certain formats and information given. Now, in this particular session, we will discuss more broader aspects related to cost accounting, which are cost audit and material control. What is cost audit? A cost audit is a systematic study of companies or organizations' expense accounts and records. It ensures that the cost of its products or services has been correctly categorized and computed. A cost audit examines a company's expenses records and other related aspects. The major goal of this cost audit is to assure that stakeholders such as shareholders, managements, investors, creditors, regulatory authorities have got the company's cost information in a more reliable and applicable way. Cost audit make the cost information of an organization more credible and more applicable according to legislation and standards. As audit being a very important aspect of each and every organization, cost audit also forms a very important aspect for the cost related information of a manufacturing concern. Now, you can see cost audit ensures that the cost statements are prepared as according to principles, plans, methods, and objectives of the organization. The cost audit approach should guarantee that cost accounting strategy has adheres to the organization's objectives and that the accounting system is directed towards achieving these objectives. The cost auditor should also prove the accuracy of the statistics by vouching for verification, reconciliation, and so on. It is the duty of the cost auditor that it assures that all cost statements are prepared in adherence to the cost accounting principles. All the underlying evidences are collected related to the cost aspects of the manufacturing concern, which is a very binding duty of a cost auditor. Next is objectives of cost accounting. First objective of cost accounting is verifying the accuracy of the cost data. A cost editor checks companies' cost accounts and records to confirm that reported cost data is accurate, dependable, or free from any kind of errors and misstatements. Next is identifying inefficiencies. Cost audits helps the organization in identifying where a firm may be spending needless expenses or where a manufacturing processes may be improved to decrease cost. It identifies where the wastage of resources has been done in a maximum amount. Next is ensuring the regulatory compliance. When cost audit is done, a corporation follows appropriate norms and guidelines, such as those established by governmental authorities or professional organizations. Every corporation has to follow certain norms and standards which have been established by governmental authorities or some other professional organization. Cost auditor ensures that any organization is strictly following these norms which have been established by government or professional authorities. Next is improving decision-making skills. Cost auditing gives executive a better understanding of the cost structure of the organization. It enables them to make better educated judgment on cost related matters, thereby improving the decision making skills of the executives of the organization. Moving further, benefits of cost audit. Cost audit takes on many benefits for the organization, for the management, for the society, for the shareholders, and for the government. Let us go through these benefits one by one. What could be the benefits of cost audit to the management? Management receives trustworthy data. After cost audit is done, management receives a trustworthy data for its daily activities, such as price setting, control mechanism, decision making, etc. Also, management with cost audit implemented in the system, the management can check on all the wastages if there is reliable reporting system in a place. Also, it assists the management in taking remedial actions. Inefficiencies in the way the firm operates will be made in public. Cost audit helps the management by giving each manager its own set of tasks, thereby management by exception becomes viable. Next, benefits to the society. What are the benefits of a cost audit system for the society? We all know cost audit system is a frequent part of price fixation for the products and services. As a result, according to information from the cost auditor, setting pricing protect customers from being taken advantage of. Given that certain sectors of the economy forbid price rises without a valid rationale, such as rising manufacturing cost. After cost audit system is implemented, it will prevent price increases and will lower inflation and sustain consumers' living standards. Next is benefits to shareholders. A cost auditor or cost audit system makes sure that accurate records are kept about the acquisition and use of goods, salary, etc. Additionally, it makes sure that the work in progress and closed stocks are fairly valued. Companies may guarantee their shareholders a reasonable return on investment in this way. Next is benefits to the government. Whenever a government is engaged in certain types of cost plus contract activities, cost auditor helps in determining a fair price of the contract. It enables the maximum pricing for necessities, preventing unauthorized profiteering. The government could focus on ineffective departments if cost audit is in the system. Similarly, it helps the government in preventing the business which are efficient and preserving a business which are giving good options to the government in the economic development of the country. So these are the certain benefits which cost audit has for the management, society, shareholder, and the government. Next is what could be possible drawbacks. If the cost audit has certain benefits to the society, it also has certain drawbacks. What could be the possible drawbacks? First is cost. Carrying out a cost audit may be expensive and time consuming. Specialized auditors are required to conduct a cost audit in the system. Therefore, hiring such professionals and such expertise, it can be a costly and expensive task for the manufacturing concern. Next is complexity. A cost audit deals with thorough investigation of cost accounts and cost records of a firm, which can be a challenging and calls for higher level of degree of competence. Next is management position. Some business may see cost audit as an intrusion into their business activities, operations, and they can oppose the audit process. As a result, management might not cooperate as expected, which will make the audit process less efficient. Next is difficulty in fraud detection. Sometimes, if a cost audit remains ineffective in finding out any fraud which has been conducted or any manipulation which has been done in the records of the company, then there is no use of cost audit. So, cost audit has to be done with lot of accuracy and vigilance. Next is limited scope. It only considers the operational cost of any process. It only deals with the cost aspects, and other aspects are ignored in case of cost audit. Therefore, it does not give a full and final or a whole picture of the financial success of a firm. Next is reliance on past data. Past cost data is a foundation of a cost audit. Further, market circumstances or trends that are changing on daily basis are not taken into account for conducting the cost audit. Therefore, reliance on past data, if any error is conducted in preparation of the past data, that will be automatically carried forward in the cost audit. So these are the certain limitations of the cost audit. Next aspect of cost accounting, which we will be covering over here, is material control. Material control, we have already discussed in the previous session that what actually material is. And controlling the material from every aspect is a very, very important task for the manufacturing concern. Material control is a systematic control over purchasing, storing, and consumption of materials to maintain a regular and timely supply of materials. At the same time, avoid overstocking. Material control, no system of any firm is complete without exercising material control. Material control that ensures the provision of the required quantity of material as and when required, with minimum capital investment. Materials, as we all know, are the basic commodities which are used in the production process to produce the items directly or indirectly. Sometimes material is confused with the word inventory. Inventory is a common term used for raw materials, components, work in progress, and finished goods in stock. Material are also vital for calculating the cost of production. Now, what could be the possible objectives of a material control? Why material control is exercised? The basic objective behind exercising material control is to ensure uninterrupted position, as we have already discussed. With material control in the system, the material can be available as and when required. So production process is never hampered to provide required quality of material. Where we analyzing material control in the system, we actually know what quality of material will fit into the production process. So our quality of material is never compromised when we are exercising material control in a firm to minimize wastage and loss of material. When we know when we are exercising material control in the system, we know how much quantity of material is required. The basic objective of material control is to minimize the wastage and maximum utilization of resources. To control investment in the stock of material, there are certain techniques of material control like reorder level, maximum level, minimum level. With these kind of techniques implemented in the system, there can never be overstocking of materials and there can never be understocking of materials, both of which are not good for the firm. Next is advantages of material control. First advantage is continuous supply. With material control in the system, there is a continuous flow of input materials from one department to another. Hence, production process is never hampered. Optimum investment. Investment in various material is kept at minimum and optimum level, taking into the consideration the operating requirement and resources. Thus, it helps in minimizing the carrying cost. Procurement at minimum cost. Purchase of quality materials and other inputs at the minimum rate from a regular supplier is ensured under the system of material control. Minimum total cost. There is reduction in total cost, which includes ordering cost and carrying cost under the system of material control. When carrying cost and ordering cost are minimized, naturally the total cost will be reduced. Avoid wastage and losses. Wastages during the storage and usage of materials due to various factors is avoided to a great extent. With the material control in the system, proper records. The system makes assure that accurate and up-to-date records are there for keeping the records of inventories. It provides information with regard to inventories to the management promptly, which facilitates decision making by the management. Prevent lags time of production. Uninterrupted supply of materials and other necessary inputs ensures that there is no lag of production during the production process. Now moving further, techniques of material control. There are various techniques of material control. Now first technique is determination of levels. There are different kinds of inventory level. First is reorder level. It is a point of a stock of a particular material in a store which directs the storekeeper that this is the time to initiate the purchase requisition for fresh supply of that material. It is a point at which the stock of a particular material in store approaches. The storekeeper should initiate the purchase requisition for fresh supplies of that material. This level is fixed somewhere between the maximum level and minimum level, in such a way that difference of quantity of materials between the reordering level and the minimum level will be sufficient to meet the requirements of the production up to the time the fresh supply of material is received. The formula for calculating reorder level is equal to ordering level is equal to minimum level plus consumption during the time required to get the fresh delivery. Next is minimum level. This particular minimum level represents the quantity of material which must be maintained at all times, which in hand all times, means it is a minimum level below which stock should never go. This represents the minimum quantity of material which must be maintained in hand all the times. This quantity is fixed so that production may not be held up due to shortage of materials. The formula for calculating minimum level is equal to reorder level, which we have already calculated over here, minus normal consumption into normal reorder period. Minimum level, one thing must be noted about minimum level is not required in case of a special material which is required against customer's specific order. And next is maximum level. Maximum level, it represents the maximum quantity of an item of material which can be held in stock at any time. Stock should not exceed this quantity. If the stock is exceeding minimum level, naturally there will be overstocking of material and most of the material will be laid unused in a firm. Stock should not exceed this quantity. Why there is a need for avoid overstocking? Overstocking blocks working capital, which could affect the profitability of a concern. Also, overstocking needs more godown space, more rent will have to be paid, and there will be more of a carrying cost. There may be also a loss due to obsolescence on account of overstocking. And there are also chances of reduction in the quality of a product because large stocks will require more time before they are consumed. There also, if the lot of material is lying unused in a stock, there are chances in the reduction of the market value of overstocked materials. Now, how this maximum level is fixed? There are certain factors which needs to be considered while fixing the maximum level. First is amount of capital. There can be amount of capital available for maintaining stores. There can be maximum requirement of the stores for the production purpose at any point of time, rate of consumption of the material during the lead time, and cost of maintaining stores. The formula for calculating maximum level is equal to reordering level plus reordering quantity minus minimum consumption into minimum reorder period. Next is danger level. This means a level at which normal issues of the material are stopped and issues are made only under specific instructions. It simply means where issue of material is stopped and specific instructions are awaited for ordering at this particular level. The purchase offer will make special arrangements to get the material which reach at danger level so that production may not stop due to shortage of material. The formula for calculating danger level is equal to average consumption into maximum reorder period for emergency purchases. Next is average stock level. As you can see from the name, average stock level is equal to average of overall stock, which can be calculated with the help of the formula minimum stock level plus half of reorder quantity or half of minimum stock level plus maximum stock level. Next technique is ABC analysis. ABC analysis is a method in which inventory is divided into three categories, that is A, B, and C in descending value. ABC analysis, if you see, means always better controlled. The items in the category have the highest value, B category items are of lower value, and C category items have the lowest value. For example, you can see A category items in your house can be your jewelry, your precious items, which are less in quantity but creates a higher value. Next can B category items, which are more in quantity than A but creates a value less than A category items. C category items are highest in quantity and have a lowest value in comparison to A and B. Items that fall under the C category are those that are slow moving and needs to be reordered with same frequency as item A or item B. When you put items into these three categories, it is helpful for both the wholesalers and distributors to identify the items that need to be stocked and those that can be replaced. For example, H&M manufactures 80% of its retail inventory in advance and introduces the remaining 20% based on the most current market trends. And similarly, we have talked about the example of Amazon, which does not keep stock of every single items offered on its website. The stock of only popular items that are frequently purchased are maintained, and if there is an order for an unpopular item, then Amazon would request it from the distributor who would then ship it to the company. So this is all the theoretical discussion regarding the ABC analysis and material control. Now, for going deeper into the concept and have more clarity regarding the concept, I think practical problems, understanding the any concept practically or numerically is extremely important. So therefore, we will understand the concept of different levels, inventory levels in a numerical form. First is, see the question. The following information are available in respect of material A. Reorder quantity 180 units, reorder period 3 to 5 weeks, maximum consumption 45 units per week, normal consumption 30 units per week, minimum consumption 15 units per week. You have to calculate reorder level, maximum level, and minimum level. First of all, you have to calculate reorder level. We all know the formula of reorder level. Now, for your convenience, let me write reorder level formula over here. Reorder level is equal to maximum consumption into maximum reorder period. Maximum consumption into maximum reorder period. We all know maximum consumption is given 45 units multiplied by 15 units, which will come to 225 units. So you can see reorder level is equal to maximum consumption into maximum reorder period. 45 units into 15 units, which will make up to 225 units. This means this is a point at which storekeeper should start making the purchase requisition. Next is maximum stock level. Maximum stock level. Maximum stock level, the formula calculating maximum stock level is reorder level plus reorder level plus reorder quantity minus minimum consumption into minimum reorder period. Minimum consumption into minimum reorder period. Reorder level is 225. As we can see from the question, plus reorder quantity is given in the question. It is 180 units. Then minus minimum consumption is, it is given in the question, 15 units per week. 15 units like plus minimum reorder period. Minimum reorder period is 3 weeks. You know, reorder period is 3 to 5 weeks. So minimum reorder period will be, it will be multiplied, sorry, into 3. After solving this equation, you will get the answer of 360 units. 360 units. Next is minimum level. Minimum stock level. Minimum stock level, we all know, is a formula. Reorder level. Reorder level minus normal consumption into average normal consumption into average reorder period. We will input the values in the given formula. Reorder level, we have already calculated 225 minus normal consumption given in the question is 30 units. 30 units and multiplied by average. Average reorder period. Average reorder period is 3 plus 5. Minimum reorder period plus maximum reorder period divided by 2. That is 3 plus 5 divided by 2 will give you 4. Which comes to 105 units. So this is how we calculate the different kinds of levels. First, we have calculated reorder level. After that, we have calculated maximum level, and then we have calculated the minimum stock level. So I think by now you must be clear how to calculate different kind of levels with the help of a given formula. Next is ABC analysis. ABC analysis, as we all know, is always better control. Always better control is a technique we have studied. It categorizes the items into 3 categories, A, B and C. Percent of total items which fall into this category are 5 to 10, then 10 to 20 and 70 to 85. Percent of total cost 70 to 85, 10 to 20 and 5 to 10. Now, let us understand this concept with the help of the following formula, which says classify the following inventory items into A, B and C categories. We have been given items from 1 to 14. Quantity is given in one column and then prices are given. Now, we will make our own format. In this particular format, we have copied the items from 1 to 14. We have copied then their quantity in units. That is 500 to 600, as you can see. Now, what we have done, we have done the total of all these units, 500 plus 300 and so on. Now, what we will do, we will try to understand how much of a particular, suppose unit 1 is of the total of units. Means how much percentage is unit 1 composed of out of total of units. That means 500 divided by 8500 into 100 and so on. So 500 divided by 8500 into 100 will give you a percent of 5.882. Similarly, 300 divided by 8500 into 100 will give you 3.529. Next is 1400 divided by 8500 will give you 16.471. 1500 divided by 8500 into 100 will give you 17.647. Similarly, we will take on all other values. 4.706. Next is 2.941. Next is 1.765. Next is 2.941. Next is 10.588. Next is 4.118. Next is 7.647. Next is 13.530. Next is 1.176. Next is 7.059. Which makes up to total 100 units. Now we know item number 1 is composed of 5% of total items in the firm. Similarly, item number 2 composed of 3% of the total items in the firm, and 16% is item number 3, 17%, 4, and so on. Now we have been given rates of these. Next is the value. Next column is the value. Now how we will calculate the value? Quantity in units multiplied by rate per unit will give you the value. That means 500 into 45 will give you 22,500. 300 into 350 will give you the value of 1,05,000. Similarly, 16,800. Next is 12,000. Next is 48,000. Next is 1,25,000, which is 500 into 250. Next is 1,35,000. Next is again 25,000. 100 into 250, 25,000. Next is 900 into 13, 11,700. Next is 8,750. Next is 22,750. Next is 23,000. Next is 3 lakh. Next is 600 into 157 is 94,500. Next is we will do the total of the all values we have derived after multiplying value from number of units. 9,50,000. Similarly, as we have calculated the percentage of quantity, we will calculate the percentage of value. That is, how much value does a particular item hold out of the total value. 22,500 divided by 9,50,000 will give you 2.368. Will 11.053. Next is 1.768. 1.263. 5.053. 13.158. 14.211. Next is 2.631. Next is 1.232. Next is 0.921. Next is 2.395. Next is 2.421. Next is 31.579. Next is 9.947. Now the total of this is again comes to 100. Now we have calculated all these values. We have calculated percentage and quantity, percentage of value, and now a final task is to categorize them as A, B, and C. As I have mentioned in the table in front of you that A category items consist of 5 to 10% of quantity and but carries a total value of 70 to 85. Now based on this concept, we can see item number 2 can be categorized as A category. Next is item number 6 and 7 can be categorized as A category. Similarly, item number 13 can be categorized into A category. Now B category items consist of 10 to 20% of total items but carries or 10 to 20 I think there is 10 to 20% of total cost. So here we go. Item number, keeping this concept in mind, item number 1 can be categorized as B category item. Similarly, item number 5 can be categorized as B category item. Similarly, and then you can see item number 8 can be categorized as B category item. Then item number 14 can be categorized as B category item. Now next is remaining are, as you can see, will fall into C category, but going with the concept we can see they have total number of items are 70 to 85% and have very less monetary value. So here we go. We can see that item number 3 can fall into this category. Item number 4 can fall into this category. Item number 8 can fall into this category. Item number 9 can fall into this category, 10 and so on. Remaining items will fall under the category of C items. So BA, BA, C, BA, these are the items which can fall into different kind of categories according to their percent of quantity in units and their percent of value. This is not likely to open. So what we have done, again I summarized my lecture. We have categorized the items into the category of A, B and C depending on their percentage in quantity and percentage in value. We have calculated percentage in value by dividing particular item units by total value of units, and similarly we have calculated the percentage of value by dividing particular value by total of the value, and we came to know how much percentage of the value each item number holds, and based on that we have categorized the items into category B, A, B and C items. Similarly, item number 1 has been categorized as category B item, and item number 2 is categorized as a category item because it has highest percentage of value and less number of units. That's why it is categorized as A item. Similarly, item number 3 and 4 have been categorized as C category items because they have less percentage of value and more number of units. Similarly is the case with the category item number 4, which has high percentage of quantity units and less number of value. Then comes the item number 5, which has B category items, which has high percentage of value as compared to C and moderate number of units. Percentage in quantity is 2.4, which is more than C category item but less than A category. Similarly, item number 6 and 7 has been categorized as A category items, 6 and 7, because they have maximum percentage of value and minimum percentage of number of units. Next is item number 8, which has been categorized as B category item, which has more percentage of value than C and less number of units than C category items. Next is C category items is 9, 10, 11 and 12. 9, 10, 11 and 12, which have been categorized as C category items. A category item is again item number 13, which has high percentage in terms of value and less percentage in terms of quantity. Similarly, B category items, which has high percentage, less percentage as compared to A item, but more in than C category item, more percent of value than C category item, and has 7.05% in quantity. That's why it is categorized in B category items. So I hope by now you must be clear with the theoretical as well as numerical aspects related to order levels of inventory and ABC analysis. Thank you so much for listening.